Good evening, StarCraft fans. Welcome to the Ever OSL Day 2 of the SemiFinals. This is Matt here with Matt and Steve FC. I also have Steve here with me. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, again, this is the OSL round of 4, so pretty exciting. We're in a best of 5 now. So it's going to take everything that both these players got to beat the other guy.
Yeah, these players are both very even in a lot of ways, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. I'm really excited for this. We saw, of course, the round of 4 will obviously, or the previous game, Flash vs. KaL, will obviously be spoiled. So I'm just going to say that out right now. If you haven't seen Flash vs. KaL, definitely go watch that. But it was Flash being Flash, and it almost seemed unfair in a lot of the games. KaL going for a lot of quick tech, KaL losing. And I'm looking forward to seeing less imbalanced games here because we have two very similar players. Movie on the left, Shine KaL on the right side there. Movie being, of course, a Protoss, Shine being the Zerg. Before we go into kind of the game and all that good stuff, I wanted to mention and give a really big shout out. In a couple minutes into this game, you are going to see a sign by the token white guy in the crowd who happens to be a Korean English teacher by the name of Troy, who actually has a huge shout-out sign. I think he gets like 6 or 7 seconds of airtime shouting out to subscribe to Matt and Steve SC. So I think that is awesome. He on YouTube he goes by the name Ucho My Dragon Balls, or Ucho My Dragon Ball Z, I guess, which is kind of a funny name. Or Oucho Zero My Dragon Balls. Yes, not Ucho, I'm an idiot. Anyways, but Troy, you are awesome, man. He actually messaged me. I just want to lay it out there. I didn't tell him to make a sign. I didn't pay him to advertise. He said that his friend was out in like negative 15-degree weather in Korea for many, many hours waiting to get into the semifinals, and they actually got a front row seat. And, of course, we all know how the cameras love white guys, so especially white guys in the front row. But you'll see that sign come up in a couple minutes, and I just wanted to say that's awesome. I think that's one of the coolest things that Steve or I have seen, being commentators, to actually have your name out there and you know, post it on Korean TV for a bunch of confused Koreans who have no idea who we are. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think just a few months ago that was me in the crowd at the World Cyber Games holding up a sign for Color, Moletrap, and Dignity, who are still awesome, by the way. But yeah, I was...
And did you get seen?
Yeah, I was that guy too, so that's what I'm actually kind of famous for on SC2GG a little bit. Well, I say famous, probably no one even remembers, but I did. I mean, I had a great time there, got some pictures with Luxury and Stork and stuff, and that was cool. But yeah, so thanks a lot, Troy. That's really awesome, and we'll see that in a bit. Again, to bring it back to the games, I think this is going to be a really good matchup. Both these players, I think, pretty evenly skilled. Kind of surprised that both these players have made it this far. I mean, the winner of this is going to be in the finals. You know, just think about that. The winner of this is going to be playing against Flash in the finals and have the privilege of being destroyed by Flash. So that is going to be amazing in of itself. But honestly, I mean, these players have a lot of fans. Yeah. Obviously, like Shine has beaten Bisu, he's beaten Stork. Movie's beaten Stork in the past too. So these guys have a lot of pressure to do well, because typically if they knock out one of your favorite players, you kind of want to see them do well, because if they, you know, take out Stork and then just lose, you're just like, oh, it's just a fluke. Thanks for taking out Stork, you know, and it just kind of pisses you off. So that's kind of how I've been a little bit about Movie, because I felt like Stork really threw a game away against Movie. I guess it was in the OSL. Right. But anyways, these two players against each other, I think we're going to see a lot of creative games. Both players tend to do a lot of creative strategies, sometimes somewhat cheesy strategies, but yeah, I think it's going to lead to some really exciting StarCraft here. And there's a sign.
There we go. Subscribe. Troy is the man.
And it looks like he's a Shine fan.
Yeah, he's a Shine fan.
I have to say, I don't have too much of a bias here. Like I said, I think that either way, these players are going to have a really tough matchup going up against Flash, who's just unstoppable lately in the MSL and OSL, it seems like.
Yeah.
But I do think that Shine may be a little bit favorite. I just think that, at least watching his games against Stork, he just played very, very well. So it shows he has really strong mechanics. A lot of people say that his late game is not so great, that he kind of doesn't have the multitasking, but he makes up for that with being, you know, pretty aggressive. We saw actually both games he won against Stork, he used a lot of Mutalisks, just very aggressive, high numbers of Mutas, so wouldn't be surprised if we see that again here, if we see him just get a quick, and there's another white guy.
They gotta pick everyone.
So yes, you know, if we can see some quick Mutas or something like that, it looks like for the most part, both players playing pretty standard in that Movie has his fast expand going down. We did see an early pull from Shine. So again, that could be an indication that he's trying to get the tech up quickly. He hasn't even expanded yet. So yeah, it looks like that drone actually getting harassed a bit.
One thing I have to say that was KaL's big failure against Flash was going for too quick of tech and focusing so much on tech. Whereas Flash, of course, is such a baller when it comes to macro. If you are not macroing at Flash's level, you are going to lose. Even if you can get defilers out early, even if you can get ultralists out. We saw the game with KaL. It was game 3 that was the really long game where KaL just couldn't break that kind of macro. Now, obviously, we're not playing a Terran versus Zerg here. We are playing a Protoss versus Zerg, so certainly different mechanics, but all that goes into play. If you tech very fast, you are definitely taking a risk as far as things go. One thing I wanted to mention about Movie, one of the things that really stands out, and I think when he kind of became big in the public eye, was actually he beat Jaedong in a Pro League game, and then immediately after beat beat Jaedong in the first of in game 1 of 3 games in the GOM TV Season 3. So he beat Jaedong twice in a row, and everybody went, oh my gosh, who's this Movie guy? And then, of course, he went along to lose to Jaedong the next 2 games, and that actually knocked him out of GOM TV Season 3. But he kind of boosted in the public eye there, and as Steve has mentioned before, he certainly has done a lot of cheese moves, so has Shine. Both of them are almost exactly equal on stats. They both are around 50% overall. Versus Zerg, Movie is about 56%, and versus Protoss, Shine is about 55%. Movie has played quite a few more games as far as Shine goes, almost double the games, so Movie has definitely seen some more action as far as the Pro League stuff goes, and, you know, the OSL and MSL and stuff like that. So just to kind of get back to what's going on in the game, both players have the expansion up right now. We don't quite know yet what kind of tech Protoss is going to go for. This map itself tends to be Zerg favored against Protoss in the few games that have been played. I'll say out of all the games that have been played, and again, this is not spoiling because we don't spoil the stats, but only 2 times has Protoss won against Zerg on El Nino. So that is definitely something that might go to Movie's disadvantage. As far as this map goes, Steve, being a Protoss player, I mean, what do you think? What do you think is something that might work to the Protoss disadvantage on a map like this?
Well, we saw Shine versus Stork on this map earlier, and Stork did exactly what I thought is a good strategy for this map, and that's Corsair Reaver. Anytime you have a map where there's short distances and a lot of areas where you have water and things like that, and you're surrounded by cliffs, like your whole natural or main is surrounded by a cliff, so it's an easy way to get a shuttle in and out of there, drop some DTs or drop some High Templar, but the problem is, you definitely have to keep those Corsairs alive, and so we saw, Shine do a really good job using his Mutalisk to pretty much shut down Stork, and so that was a problem for Stork. But interesting enough, Shine does have 3 hatcheries, so he's not trying to do anything too aggressive, and as we can already see, problem with that is that Movie can send some Zealots in here, not speed upgraded or +1 probably yet, just a couple of slow Zealots, but they did already get 1 drone kill, so that's pretty good for Movie. But yeah, definitely Movie going to be able to see that there's 3 hatcheries here, and also see that there's already Hydras out, so he has a pretty good idea of what's coming, although there are a lot of units out for Shine. Not sure if I missed what happened there, but it looks like Shine does have a lot of units. He got those 3 hatcheries and just started pumping pretty fast, so looks like he might try to make a front door break here and just take Movie down early. I don't think it's going to work, though. As long as his cannons go up, he should be fine, but he might be, Movie might be in danger of losing his forge there, or his gateway to those Hydras. He does have his 2 Zealots there, but that's about it. So at the very least, it's going to be contained. It looks like Shine is going in here a little bit. He does sneak a couple Zerglings, can't quite get through there, just taking down one of the cannons, but again, those cannons are not warped in yet, so kind of bad timing, but I think that Movie is going to hold because he does have a Dragoon there, and it looks like 2 cannons. Oh, if this other cannon could just come in.
There you go.
Yeah, he's barely maybe holding, but Shine is in the front door, so this is the aggression I was talking about with Shine. Shine tends to do better kind of early game, and he's definitely showing that strategy here. Even though he wasn't totally all out with the 2-hatch build, he's still putting a lot of pressure early on.
Well, and here's the problem. Shine's going to get lurkers here pretty soon. He's going to be able to take down the forge, and he's going to basically slowly whittle away. So at this point, this is the point where basically KaL has to make it, or not KaL, Movie has to make a decision here. He has the Reaver that's coming. If the Reaver can pop out right there at the front door, the Reaver might be able to take... All right, there we go. And it looks like pulling out the probes, as you guys can see. Wow, but Shine is still with the 3 hatcheries. They're just pumping out Hydralisks constantly. And this is something that movie should have been able to see early on, but I guess he just wasn't able to prepare for it quite as well. What I was going to say is if he can clean up his front door, he needs to go and he needs to harass Shine at this point. I mean, this is something that movie needs to do. If he can even clean this up, I think once the Reaver comes out, he's going to be able to do that, and I think we're waiting for it right now. I'm not sure if maybe there's the Reaver. I'm not sure if movie maybe went shuttle first, which is what you normally do as a Protoss. The Reaver going to get any shots off here? And the Reaver not getting sniped. Actually, really good play, putting it right between all the cannons, which is going to confuse the Hydralisk. So Movie able to escape right here, but what I'm saying is that Movie needs to do some sort of harassment here. He did build the Reaver first, so he can hold off. Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, as you can see, Shine built those 3 hatcheries. Oh, it looks like the Reaver might get picked off here. Actually, I don't think so, no. Shine's got to pull back, so now Shine is actually going to be pretty far behind because of this